Hello, gentlemen, boys, girls, dogs, and cats, and welcome back to Commandant Level Up. Today we're back here again in every state independent. We're getting pretty far in this. I'm not sure how many episodes are going to be left, but I'm sure a lot's going to go down in this episode. But really quick first, before we start, I would like to shill again a couple shirts that I made for this series. I have a hashtag Ripdong shirt here. There's a link for that in the description. I also have an hashtag Abu Dubai is my city. So there you go. You should totally go buy those. They're pretty awesome, but don't feel like you have to, don't worry about that. Anyways, boys, in this episode, we'll probably watch Asia be swept up. There's still like 3 countries in China that have not fallen yet, that have been kind of left behind. There's also Lucknow, and then a couple of countries that Manchuria is still invading. Also Japan and the Pacific Island nations. A lot of these guys are going to start getting swept up, while Central Australia, Indochina, all these countries start building navies. We're also probably going to see developments between Iberia and Croatia. There are battles on the entire border. There's also battles between the Empire of the Lion and Serbia in and around the Suez. So that's all going on. There's other conflicts as well. Ukraine and the Transcaucasian Federation are racing to capture these little Chinese states, as well as Indochina. Alabama and Virginia are racing to take Alaska from each other. And one last thing before we get into the video. Thank you, Drew Durnal, for doing that cross-promotion with me. That was super fun. I gained like 720 subscribers that day. So that's definitely the most subscribers I've ever gained in one day, which is pretty insane. But yeah, if you're new here from Drew's channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. So here's what the battles look like in Europe between Iberia and Croatia from Iberia's perspective. As you can see, Iberia is winning most of the battles, although most of the battles are defensive battles. You can see that territory in the south has been taken from Croatia, but at the same time, territory in the north has been taken from Iberia. So both these guys actually have taken land. Croatia has suffered quite a lot more casualties than Iberia. Here we can see that Iberia has 53,000 casualties and Croatia has 208. So for every Iberian that's dead, there's 4 dead Croatians right now. The Ethiopian forces for now are still holding against the Serbian pushes across the Suez, but it does not look like the Egyptian forces are doing that well. They might start losing eventually actually here, which would be quite scary for them. Here is Kedah, or Indochina's invasion of Hunan. It's going pretty good for them. Obviously, I think they're about to capture the capital actually up here. Kedah went from a very small kind of isolated country in Pakistan to one of the contenders to win this whole game. They have 304 military factories and 158 divisions. They're definitely going to be competing with Transcaucasian Federation once a lot of these guys in Asia are killed off, as well as Manchuria over here. And here we go, boys. Indochina did just declare war on Lucknow. We've been waiting for that one for a long time. Hunan was annexed. Rest in peace. Now, it doesn't really look like Indochina was ready for that declaration of war. Their whole army is in the east, whereas Lucknow's army can actually race over to Kedah's old lands. Now, Indochina's capital is now in Siam. They've moved it from Kedah over to Indochina. So I don't think Indochina is in any trouble here, though we'll probably be cutting off and killing Lucknow here. But Lucknow does have the advantage in the beginning. They only have 40 divisions, though, 57 factories. Most likely 100% going to lose this. But it is cool to know that this is probably Lucknow's final stand, and they're not going to go out without a fight. Here's Indochina's forces moving through Bangladesh and Myanmar. They're actually transporting troops by sea. And when you look at this, it looks like Alabama has officially cut off Virginia from taking any more territory in Alaska. That's going to piss off Virginia. It's actually pretty cool because we're gearing up here to see 3 pretty major anime battles happen. The battle for North America between Virginia and Alabama, the battle for South America between Peru and Iguacu, and the battle for Africa between the Maghreb People's Republic and the Empire of the Lion. Oof, it actually does look like Iberia's forces have started to capitulate and fall back. Looks like Croatia is finally going to have their goal and unite the majority of Western Europe. Serbia will be next, and actually Serbia might not be ready at all. Serbia's, I guess they do have troops on the border over here, but they are fighting Empire of the Lion down here. Serbia and Croatia are kind of like 2 brothers fighting on opposite sides of the Civil War. This will also be another pretty major anime battle in this game. We are ignoring a lot. Ukraine over here, 166 divisions, 245 factories. Definitely a major player for a possible win. Even though their country looks disgusting and like a really deformed snake or something, they could do it. If they ended up uniting with Transcaucasian Federation or Serbia or even Manchuria, they could do very well. Pretty major battles taking place over here in India between Lucknow and Indochina. The capital is about to fall pretty soon here, And it looks like a lot of Lucknow's troops are going to get encircled. Would you look at this? There's an attempt by Australian forces to land down here in Tasmania. It did fail, but that does mean Australia does have the capabilities for this. And eventually it won't fail. Here's what India looks like now. It's been about a month. Lucknow's troops are encircled, and more are to be encircled. It looks like Lucknow's capital was captured and they moved it to Punjab, but really it is only a matter of probably days before these guys capitulate. Manchuria just declared war on Okhotsk. There we go. That's this guy over here. They're the same color, so it's going to be very aesthetically pleasing when they're gone. But I just checked Manchuria right before I saw that notification. And man, are they strong. 250 divisions, 134 factories. The factories are actually kind of low, and their manpower is kind of low. But the division count is insanely high. In the future, I could see a war between Manchuria and Ukraine actually breaking out, and Ukraine being completely not ready for it. Probably a lot of their forces getting cut off over here in Mongolia. So Croatia is seriously low on manpower. They've just spent probably a couple million manpower fighting this war so far. And I was about to say, Iberia's manpower is low, but it's actually quite high compared to Croatia's. We have Gangsu being annexed by Transcaucasia, and they've then declared war on Lucknow, which makes sense. And Ukraine actually declared war on Sichuan, which I guess also makes sense, but that's just going to be a really hard war. Oh my god, these guys have a lot of divisions. 111! This is a strong country right here. Wow, I did not expect this. These guys are going to capture Ukraine's territories, no problem. Oh, look at this. Lucknow was annexed. Indochina got 9 states, Sichuan got 2 states, and Transcaucasia didn't get anything. And now everyone has declared war on Sichuan. Everyone wants Sichuan dead. Look at this peace deal. Sichuan actually got a bunch. And Indochina is totally ready to invade. They're everywhere already. These guys kind of are the last beacon of independence for southern Chinese states. They are at war with everyone at all sides, so it looks pretty grim right now. But that won't put them down. These guys are going to fight till the last man. So 1.15 million Croatians have died, 389,000 Iberians have died. This is quite the opposite from the war that Iberia had against the Benelux. In that war, Iberia had a lot more casualties than the Benelux for the longest time. I also just realized Croatia has 900 total factories. That's 526 military. That's incredible. This war is actually relatively low in casualties over in China. Sichuan has lost 12,000 and is pretty close to capitulating. It does have 1 million fielded manpower though, so that's actually pretty low for its 1 million fielded manpower. Indochina is the one that is killing the most of, with 19,000 deaths already. It's killed 2,000 Transcaucasians and it's only killed 461 Ukrainians, but I think that's just because they're not sending their divisions down at all. Okhotsk was annexed. Kamchatka took 1 state. They weren't supposed to take that state. It looks like Manchuria got robbed out of his state there. So now they're at a new war with Kamchatka. I'm sure they'll do amazing in this war too. Kamchatka only has 7 divisions and 19 military factories. Sichuan are still resisting colonial powers against them somehow. They're still doing good. They've gotten pocketed a few times around here, lost a few divisions here and there. And it looks like this major pocket just happened. So they'll probably be capitulating fairly soon, but they are not leaving without a punch. So Sichuan now has lost 150,000 casualties, and they're 98% towards capitulation. Rest in peace. I mean, these guys were totally underrated. I guess they just didn't have a chance really to do that well, but this is something that could have been. This country right here totally could have taken over and became China. But Indochina, Transcaucasian Federation, and our good friend Ukraine have decided that they want to split it. And it's too late for our Chinese friend. So rest in peace. Oh shit, look at that. Right when I said rest in peace. Look at this. Ukraine declared war on Transcaucasia. This is a major war. We also have Indochina declaring war on Transcaucasia. So both of these guys have decided that Transcaucasia is the one they want to go after. Oh shit, Manchuria has declared war on Ukraine. There's a massive war happening in Asia. This war is bigger than the World War I we just had. We basically have, I guess that means Indochina and Ukraine are kind of in the same team, and Transcaucasia and Manchuria are kind of on the same team. Kind of like the theoretical World War we had last time. This war will decide the fate of Asia, and I guess that could decide a winner. There's a massive immigration of Transcaucasian troops moving towards their capital to defend it. It looks like their capital's moved. I don't remember their capital being over here. I could be wrong though, I don't know why it's over here. But if these troops get there before Ukraine's massive army gets there, they could hit Ukraine's capital. Before we take off today, let's compare these two teams. Ukraine, 169 divisions, 246 factories. And their ally Indochina, 173 divisions, 391 military factories. And they're fighting Manchuria, who has 261 divisions, 151 factories, and the Transcaucasian Federation, 151 divisions, 214 factories. So I would say probably that there is an edge toward Ukraine and Indochina winning. I think they have more divisions, and actually they're connected, even though they can't pass through each other's territory. But anyways, boys, that's going to have to be it for this episode. Make sure you hit like and favorite and subscribe if you guys are new. Make sure to check out those shirts. I'd really appreciate it if you bought one. Everyone comment F for Sichuan, and I'll see you guys in the next episode when we see the results of this major war. Alright, peace.